really important that we begin to change the mindset of young people to know that your vote counts.
They don't understand that the legislative arm of government is actually a co-equal arm of government.
We have an incredible amount of potential.
Whatever it is I was doing, because of my personal DNA, it had to be of an international standard, which is what, seriously speaking, is all about.
Welcome. For a long time now, all we hear about investing in Nigeria is FDIs, foreign direct investment. But recently, some young woman, young to me that is, called me up and says, do you know that we're going on this investment move outside of the country? And we're talking to Nigerians in diaspora. And I'm like, huh? So I decided I'm going to have this edition of the show as the year rounds up about opportunities that exist in Nigeria, the potential of investing in Nigeria. And truly, I'm speaking to all of you who are Nigerians outside of here, or even Nigerians who live here. So when we return, you get to meet my guest on Seriously Speaking today. Yes, welcome back. My guest is female. I'm proud about that because she's achieved quite a lot. A lawyer who's a real estate guru. It's my pleasure to welcome on set Udo Okonjo.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you, you know.
Thanks.
And this is outside of Today's Woman, having you on Seriously Speaking. You know, how did you...
I'm delighted to be here.
When you called, I'm going abroad for XYZ. Did you ever imagine that we're going to end up on set doing this?
Absolutely not.
You know.
I hoped, but...
You hoped?
Yes. So I think it's an important conversation.
Yeah. So how did... Okay, tell me about it once again.
Okay, so we took, we meaning Fine and Country and other stakeholders in the real estate sector. We did a roadshow, which we themed Taking Nigeria to the World.
What drove that?
What drove that was the fact that, this government has obviously been trying to attract, foreign direct investment. There's been a lot of focus and emphasis on inspiring confidence and raising, business confidence in Nigeria. And, we had seen over the last 18 months to 2 years that Nigerians overseas professionals, entrepreneurs had begun to take a more active interest in investing in real estate in Nigeria. And that's a result of the challenges we were having here. So our Naira was devalued. So obviously it was a good opportunity for them to begin to, invest more here because their money obviously had more value. And so we thought, those who were not investing, what was stopping them was the issue of trust. So we felt if we could put together a roadshow where we go out there and actually bridge that gap by providing them accurate information, current insight on the state of the economy, not just real estate, because real estate, is a part of the economy. And so that's what we thought to do. Take Nigeria to the world, connect, the positive stories while not whitewashing the negatives, because there are some areas of progress, obviously, that we still need to focus on.
Isn't it interesting to find that the devaluation of the Naira had a positive side to it?
Well, absolutely, and therein lies, the thing that they always say, in every challenge lies an opportunity, and in every developing economy lies massive opportunities, which Nigeria obviously is a developing economy with lots of challenges.
So the question, though, for you is, you're in real estate. It was already booming anyway.
Right.
So you couldn't, you really didn't need to do this. You didn't you couldn't try to sell real estate again because people were coming into real estate already.
Right.
But you wanted to do a little bit more. And so did that determine the kind of guests you had along?
Well, it was a combination. So, tough times, they say, right? Bring out more creativity. So the year before, we'd had this event where we themed it thinking out of the box. Obviously, we have been in a recession, and during a recession, some people give up and feel there are no opportunities, the opportunities have disappeared. But we felt that during the recession is a time to actually put on your creative thinking cap. And once we saw that, the Nigerians in diaspora was a particular segment of the market that was being ignored. However, the challenges we had in the Nigerian economy was actually a good opportunity for them. We thought, why not, contribute to the economy by stimulating the conversation, encouraging them with the right information. So it was a combination for us, really, not just about real estate, but also creating a positive narrative for people who we feel have a natural affinity
tell me what happened.
to Nigeria.
What are some of the great things that happened while you were
there? It was incredible. You know, for us...
Because you went to the UK first.
We did go to the UK. We went to London first week in October, and we deliberately chose October first week because obviously our independence is, you know, the first.
On the national pride
Exactly. You know, you have this whole thing about, you know, the American dream. And so we've been asking ourselves, what is the Nigerian dream? How can we get more Nigerians, both locally and overseas, to actually connect with a Nigeria that is emerging? Because we believe that irrespective of all the challenges we have, there is a Nigeria that's emerging. But I don't know about you, but when I go overseas and I interact with some Nigerians overseas, some of them are very negative and pessimistic about Nigeria.
Absolutely.
Some are optimistic, but they're very small number. And so the whole idea of this was actually to show them the positives of the Nigeria that is emerging and then leave them to make their own decisions. I believe we did.
How would you rate it, like 60, 70, 80?
I would say 80 to 90%. You know, we have it on record. People were saying, you know what, for a very long time, I'd given up on Nigeria. Some lady who's a professional, in fact, she relocated back to the UK, having moved to Nigeria, and then moved back to the UK because she kind of gave up on Nigeria. And she said after this event, she actually had a rethink. She said, you know, I really have begun to see Nigeria from a very different perspective.
Well, that's nice to know because people are wondering who are those in the shadows out there? Because I decided to get people who are experts in this area to be part of this conversation. So I'll take a break and then we'll go and engage them. I have a PhD holder from the Pan Atlantic University right here. And I also have someone who is a real estate developer, an architect, who was in diaspora, but is right here in Lagos. We'll be right back on Seriously Speaking.